Have a seat. Of course, I'm therapist Deirdre Garner, and you are Kim. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Good. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine.
That is awesome. So I got your intake paperwork, and you signed the confidentiality agreement. And I'm gonna go over that real quick, and so you just know what the parameters are during our counseling sessions. Everything you say to me is confidential, and it'll only be shared through my program here at Lamar University because I'm in a counseling program right now. Now, the only way things will be released to anyone else is if, for any reason, there's evidence of clear and imminent danger to harming yourself or others, then it is my legal requirement to report that information to the authorities for ensuring your safety. Um, Also, if there's any reason suspect of physical or sexual abuse and neglect by anyone under 18 or of age, I must report that information to County Child Protective Services. And if for any reason a judge orders that we release this information, we have to testify in court, then that will be released. Other than that, everything is in our session is confidential. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, cool. So, what brings you here today?
Um, I guess the reason for me coming to counseling is to discuss maintaining long-term relationships.
Okay, long-term relationships. When you say long-term relationships, what do you mean?
Basically relationships that stand the test of time, regardless of what happens or what transpires. If you speak or don't speak for a period of time, I mean, whatever may happen, that you can still maintain those relationships.
Okay, so what you're saying is you are having concerns about relationships and long-term relationships, great relationships that no matter what you do or don't do, or good, bad, or indifferent, whether you speak every day or once a month or once every 6 months, that these relationships are still healthy and binding and whole.
Correct.
Okay, who are these relationships with?
Family, friends, and then significant other relationships.
Okay, so when you speak of family, what are your concerns with your family? And I'll be taking notes while we're having these sessions as well. So, for family, what are your concerns about your relationship with your family?
I want us to be closer. Um, I want us to be able to, talk to each other openly and without judgment, and just have that open line of communication.
Okay. Now, in reading your intake paperwork, you stated that you were adopted,
Correct.
and now you're with your biological family.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I was adopted at 4 days old. I found out when I was 20. I met my mother at 22, and I met my father at 24. So it's been almost 7 years since we've been back into each other's lives.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have two brothers on my mom's side, and I have 9 siblings on my dad's side.
You got a big family. In your adopted scenario, did you have any siblings?
No, I was an only child.
Okay. So how does this new big family? How is that going? How do you like it?
Well, family has always been important to me, and I mean, growing up, not only was I the only child as far as cousins was concerned, it was like a 10-year gap between me and the next cousin. So I always wanted brothers and sisters. I guess growing up an only child has its perks, but then again, I mean, it can get lonely at times. So I like it a lot.
So you said so. Who are you with, mom or dad?
Mom.
So is dad close by?
He's actually incarcerated right now. Um, Me and him have never had a meeting outside of that setting. Um, I've I've seen him probably about maybe 4 or 5 times, and most of our correspondence is either over the phone or via letters. I mean, it feels good being able to communicate with him, but I don't want to see him in that setting anymore. I want to be able to talk to him and have a conversation with him outside of that.
Okay. Um, so you with mom? How did that transition go?
Well, the night we, the first day we talked to each other, um, I was kind of nervous and scared at the same time. But we talked to each other. We talked on the phone till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then we met the next day. And it was awkward for about 5 minutes, and then it was just like I was talking to somebody I hadn't seen in a long time. So after that, we made the decision that I was off on Fridays and Saturdays, so I would spend those days with her. And so that lasted about from October, and then in January I moved in with her. So with like 3 months of me just visiting, and then I ended up moving in with her.
Was that your decision or hers or a joint decision?
I guess it was a joint decision. I mean, she didn't pressure me to do it. I mean, I think she wanted me to, just because of the situation that I was in at the time. And I guess what more of me, I wanted to, but at the same time, I had a fear of change. So I wasn't, like, I didn't know what was going to happen next. Not saying anything bad was going to happen, I just didn't know what was going to happen next. So it took me a little while before I actually made the transition.
So you said it's two siblings on mom's side, brothers, sisters, what?
Two brothers, one older and one younger.
Oh, okay. So you just fit right in the middle. How you feel as the only girl?
Oh, the only girl is fine. I have middle child syndrome. But being the only girl, it's not an issue.
So you got a big brother and a little brother.
Yep.
We have to compete with no girls. Okay, so that's family. What about friends? What about your friendships? You have friends that you've had for long periods of time?
I do. I mean, I'll say maybe 3 or 4 people that I consider that I've been friends with over 10 years.
It's females or males?
One male and the other 3 are females. We went to school together. And for the most part, we haven't nothing significant has happened in the relationship to say that we're no longer friends. It's just we don't. I guess as you grow older, everybody has their own lives, so you kind of grow apart in that sense. So you don't talk as much as you used to. You don't hang out as much as you used to. But it's just I guess just finding that balance of how to maintain that regardless of where you are in your life.
So you would like to be closer to these friends. And you said significant other. Do you have a significant other right now?
No, not right now.
Okay, so.
And I guess my reason for that is that when I do meet that person, I want to know the proper steps to take in order to, if I see that it's something that I want to pursue, I need to know the proper steps to take to make that a lasting relationship with her.
Okay. Good. So, what I'm hearing you tell me is, what brought you here is wanting to have lasting relationships with your family, with your friends, and with your possible significant other. And with your family, you want to be closer, you want to have open communication. With your friends, I mean, you said that you have friends that you've had for over 10 years, but as you guys have chronologically grown older, you have kind of are not as close as you were. When you say went to school with, is this high school, college, or what?
3 of them I went to high school with, have been friends since high school. So that's probably about maybe 14 years. And the other one I met in college. So we've been friends right at 10, 11 years.
Okay. So, I mean, these are long-lasting relationships. You just want these friendships to be closer.
Mm-hmm.
And then where the significant other is concerned, you say you don't currently have a significant other, but you would like when you do get that or feel like that person is, you've met someone that you feel like could be that person, you want to have the proper steps and know how to handle yourself to make it a lasting relationship.
Correct.
Okay. So, do you have any questions?
No questions.
So, how do you feel about this counseling thing? You think you're gonna be able to do it?
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction, and I think with the proper questions or the thought-provoking questions will make me, I guess, reevaluate some things or focus on some areas that I need to improve to make this happen.
And I think you made the first great step going in the right directions because you found some concerns in your life. You wanted to address them. You came to seek some professional guidance because that's basically what I'm going to be. I'm going to be your guide in the quest of having long-lasting relationships with your family, your friends, and a significant other. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have conversation to transition you to what your ultimate goal is. But what I want to impress upon you today is to know that there's going to be some work involved. There's going to be some thought-provoking questions arise where you're going to have to think and reflect and evaluate. And then there might be some changes you need to make in your life. Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what I want you to do for me for homework, because every session you will have homework, I want you to decide which one of these relationships you want to talk about first. And write some pros and cons, and we're going to talk about that when you come back, and I'll see you on Thursdays for 30 minutes for the next 5 weeks. How that sound?
That's fine.
Well, thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming
Thank
by,
you.
and I look forward to seeing you next week.